Good early afternoon. We are live. I'm Andy Andrews. Welcome to the Blue Plate Special. We're here in the heart of the financial district in Orange Beach, Alabama, at the Wharf, home of the famous Marlin statues and the infamous escalator statues. We have two Marlin statues here. We have four escalator statues that you can see when you visit. They're beautiful. They're lifelike. They are life-size and look just like escalators. You can get your picture taken with them when you visit. It's still raining. Man, we're like Seattle in the southeast. This is unbelievable how much rain we've had. We've got a bunch of people in here today. We've got the ribbon cutting. We've got a ribbon cutting here after the show. So if you want to hurry on down here, and I don't know if that's something that you see, or it's like you come down and cut a ribbon. You go, thanks, enjoyed that. I don't know. Is that something? Do people show up for those kind of things? I'm not really sure. We'll see. Well, you guys are here. I mean, you're here. So, but the jury's out on what you guys are here for. So, we're glad you guys are here. Dottie Matheson, good afternoon. Heather Olson in Utah. Judith DeWitt from Spokane Valley, Washington. Going to be very hot there. Well, it's hot here. It's hot and raining. It's like boiling water coming out of the sky. Kim Petrucki, good afternoon. Irene Robinson. Irene from LSU land. Chris Newfield from Dallas. Marilyn Breck from Minnesota. What's the weather in Minnesota? Lorraine Weaver is in Norman, Oklahoma. I haven't seen Dan on here lately. Where has Dan been? He's probably shoveling snow. Eva Jean Hodge, you like the shirt? The shirt is from Sand Dollar Lifestyles, the cornerstone of the Wharf. And they have millions of t-shirts. And they are, of course, the clothing sponsor of the Blue Plate Special. I think that talk shows, game shows, they have histories of clothing sponsors, right? Bill Cullen, remember Bill Cullen? He wore his Bill Cullen's wardrobe provided by Barney's of New York. I remember that. And I remember Monty Hall on Let's Make a Deal. Monty Hall, what was his? Oh, Monty Hall's wardrobe provided by Botany 500. That's what it was. Who was Dicker and Dicker of Beverly Hills? There was somebody, clothing provided by Dicker and Dicker of Beverly Hills. So, I don't remember. This is why at the end of the Professional Noticer, which is the podcast that we release every Tuesday, at the end of the podcast, we have something is provided for the cast and crew by Twinkle and Smoke of Beverly Hills. Twinkle and Smoke are our cats. And so we just gave them the of Beverly Hills to make it sound official. Wow, in studio we have Joey and Angie from Laurel, Mississippi. From Laurel. You know what I love about Laurel? Now, it's not what you think. It's not that you have a show with the people that rebuild stuff. And I looked at that guy because my wife loves that show. And she says, they are so cute. They are so cute. And I'm like, this guy's like 6'10", 400 pounds. You can't call somebody like that cute. I mean, he's massive. And so he played football for Ole Miss, I think. No? Mississippi State? He didn't play football? He's just big. Oh, basketball. Man, well, he's a big guy. He's huge. But it's not just that show. that I love about Laurel. It's not just that Ebb is from there. You have a Pasquale's. It's the only one that I know that's still alive. And that Pasquale's, when you go in it doesn't look like the health inspector's been there lately, but they still have those. Those hot roast beef sandwiches, and those are just incredible. They're just. I'm going to have a funeral when that Pasquale's dies. That's enough to make me jog out of the way to go, just up from the interstate, hit Laurel. Steve and Linda Martin from Fort Morgan. Hey, Fort Morganeers. Yeah, glad y'all are here. Rich and Lauren from Gulf Shores. Hey. They're the ambassador for the show. Penny Huey, Ryan Moberly, Kim Kennedy from Orange Beach. Diane from Orange Beach. Where's Diane? Over there. Diane, you need to move. You're like right in a pole. Get where you can see. I see a chiropractic accident on the way there. Alan from Orange Beach. Hey, buddy. How are you? Good to see you. And Michael from Fort Morgan. So, hey, Michael. How are you? From Monte Vista, Colorado. We have some people here. Nancy Bergen. I'm headed out to Colorado next month. I'm going to find an elk. So, I'm just telling you. I don't know what I'm going to do with one when I find it, but I'm going to try to find one. We got a good show. We're going to start with the stupid item of the day, and then we're going to get into some misconceptions, some things that people are a little bit confused about, I think. Monica Early's here. Monica, of course, the Chief Protocol Officer for Special Operations and a new captain on Wisdom Harbor. So you like the new pictures? Okay, yeah, that one I did in Alaska, and I had them pose. I said, if you could both look that way, that'd be great. I appreciate it, and they did. George Gosser, checking in from Northwest Mississippi. Okay, here is this stupid item of the day. I was grabbed by this headline, and the headline of it was how to find your dominant psychic power. And that sounds like something, when you like to find that, right? When you like to find that you had a psychic power, much less a dominant one. A dominant one? But then I read the article, and I was like, you have got to be kidding. Here's the first line of the article. Here's how you do it. This is how you find your dominant psychic power. And so let's follow these instructions. I'm going to follow these instructions. First of all, get comfortable and close your eyes. Okay, well, now I can't read anymore. That's the first thing they tell you. Get comfortable and close your eyes. How are you supposed to read the rest of the article? It says, imagine you're in a beautiful garden with flowers, a lush lawn, trees. What exactly is it you are seeing? Is it realistic? Next, imagine you're in a city. What kind of things do you hear? The sound of building or people or traffic? Do you hear the big loud sounds and the tiny subtle sounds? It sounds like you're talking to a kindergartner, doesn't it? Do you hear the big sounds? Do you hear them? Now bring up a memory from your past, something that was fearful or sad or exciting, like a roller coaster. Sink into those feelings. Now picture a time when you had a gut sense about something. Sit with that for a moment. The results of this experiment, that's the experiment, we've done the experiment. The results of this experiment will reveal to you where your most powerful abilities lie. Your visual abilities indicate clairvoyance. Listening abilities reveal clairaudience. Ability to feel sensations is clairsentience. And that deep knowing is that there was something you needed to do right away, even if you don't know why. You sit with that for a moment, and those results are claircognizance. Keep rolling down, Matt. See what we got. See, I added some more. And it ended the article by, don't be surprised if you exhibit the traits of more than one of these abilities. So you can close your eyes and imagine a tree and you're clairvoyant. You can imagine a sound, or you can hear a sound and you're clairaudient. I say if you visualize a blonde actress, you have clairdanes. If you're seeing hair when you close your eyes, you've got clairall. If you're hungry for sweet pastries, you've got eclair. And if you conjure up a map of Wisconsin, you have eau claire. So this is ridiculous. I think this is ridiculous. And knowing how hard it is to get an article, to get somebody to publish something, I'm amazed at how much stupid stuff is out there. All right, here we go with some myth conceptions. These are misconceptions. They're myths. Hope, how many pictures are you going to take?
Some of them are blurry and some of them are perfect. Now I'm done.
Some of them are blurry and some of them are perfect. I think, did I get blurry on you?
Yeah, you move a lot.
So that's what it is, me moving?
Yeah.
I was thinking, God, she's taking a lot of pictures. It's like, Matt, do we need that many pictures?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
I must take bad pictures. Because, was she sitting there going, wow, you're blurry. Well, you took good pictures the other day. Mm-hmm. Those were, I think I look better blurry. It may be just me, but when I look at a picture of myself, I generally want to blur it up a little bit. Okay, here is our first misconception. Wedding rice is dangerous to birds. It's a misconception. Nope. Rice does not cause birds to die by inflating their stomachs until they burst. This is a modern, common misconception that has often led to weddings using birdseed, confetti, and other materials to shower the newlyweds as they leave the ceremony instead of rice. So who came up with that? Who came up with, well, if they eat the rice is going to make them explode? Who came up with that? And, in fact, we don't need to throw rice. We need to throw birdseed. I think it's birdseed manufacturers that came up with that. That just kind of put, his birdseed lobbyists, that just kind of put that out there, just floated that little thing out there. After all, you don't want to hurt the birds, do you? You don't want to hurt the birds. You've heard about, giving an Alka-Seltzer to a seagull and they explode. I don't think they do.
I gotta say, I don't think I'd be happy if someone threw birdseed at a wedding and brought all the birds in.
I know. But rice is not going to kill a bird unless you've got a 10-year-old that gets a hold of 3 or 4 of those packets. You know, they wrap them up in those little things, and you can wing those things across the church.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit a bride in the head with one of those packets, and you know, what does a 10-year-old say? You said to throw rice at them. You said to throw rice. You know what will kill birds? It's firecrackers. You feed them firecrackers. I'm not saying anybody did, or I'm not saying anybody would, but I'm just thinking rice doesn't kill them, you know. But if you just lay out some firecrackers and they get hungry for them, these birds are goners. Okay, here is another misconception. The Chinese symbol for crisis also means opportunity. Have you heard that one? Well, no, actually, it does not. This myth was given birth in a campaign speech from John F. Kennedy. Just another lie somebody told in a campaign speech, I guess. But the Chinese symbol for crisis actually means crisis. Just so you know.
I wonder how many people walking around don't speak a lick of Chinese, have that tattooed on them, and they tell everybody, yeah, this crisis is also opportunity.
I'll bet.
I'm cultured.
I'll bet. I'll bet. Because, I mean, I can't tell you how many bad speeches I've heard that have that in them. You know, like businesses, if it was the symbol in China for crisis also means opportunity. And that's how we should see crisis. I mean, that's what they do, you know. And who knew? That was just another lie from a politician. Okay. Well, all right, here is a big one. This is a big one. This is myth number, what myth are we on?
I think 3, unless you count the psychic one as myth.
Yeah, the psychic one is just stupid. Okay, here is myth number 3. If a frog is thrown into boiling water, it will leap out. But if the frog is placed in cool water, slowly heated to the boiling point, he will just sit there. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This was wrong on 2 counts. First, frogs will attempt to escape cool water that is slowly heated past their critical thermal maximum. They'll get out. Just, I mean, what do you do? You're in the tub and somebody pours hot water in there. Yeah, I mean, you get out. The frogs do too. Second, if you toss a frog into boiling water, it'll just die. It just turns to mush. Now, I don't know this because I've done it.
Oh.
I've done it to crabs. I've done it to crabs. I've done it to lobsters. And, crabs at least have that thick skeleton to get the, I mean, they get a couple of these before they die. I don't think frog would take.
Probably not.
Yeah. Myth conception number 4. The Earth's interior is molten rock. Did you believe that? Did you believe that? I think I heard that in science class in the 5th grade. And I'm sorry, it's not. This misconception may originate from a misunderstanding based, now let me just read this to you, so just stay with me here. Based on the misunderstanding that the fact that the Earth's mantle convex and the incorrect assumption that only liquids and gases can convect. In fact, solids with a large Rayleigh number can also convect, given enough time, which is what occurs in the solid mantle due to the very large thermal gradient across it. There are small pockets of molten rock in the upper mantle, but these make up a tiny fraction of the mantle's volume. The Earth's outer core is liquid, but it is liquid metal, not rock. You got that? You understand it? See, the only thing I remember from science class, the only thing that I remember from science and chemistry in school, and I hate to say this, but the only thing I remember is the definition of osmosis. I must have had to really get that one.
Really
down.
study for that one.
Yeah. Do you know what the definition is?
Tell us.
It's when a liquid of high concentration moves to a liquid of low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. How about that? So the Earth's inner core is not molten rock. The Earth's inner core is, however, made up of Nestle's chocolate syrup. That's one thing that's new. That's going to be new to the science books, I think, this year.
I feel like I've been lied to. I'm just thinking of all the pictures I've seen in books where they show the Earth and all the layers, and then in the middle, it looks like there's a sun in there, just melted. But.
Yeah. Well, they just they didn't know until, and there's Nestle's is starting a mining operation, actually now, for the Earth's inner core, and it's because it's the dark chocolate unsweetened syrup.
And they'll get there and say, well, we got here first. It's our inner core. We're not sharing.
Inner core, that's right. Okay, here's another misconception. The Amazon rainforest provides 20% of the Earth's oxygen. Now that sounds really good, doesn't it? I mean, especially when, I think if you wanted to perpetrate that, I believed it.
Sounds good.
it. I've heard that for years. But I think, if you're going to perpetrate a myth, I think they needed to do something more than a level number. It's like the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest actually provides 18.7% of the Earth's oxygen. It's a little more believable than, let's say 20%. But this got started. Now, this blew me away because I never really thought of this. But when you think of this, it makes perfect sense. This got started because of a misinterpretation of a 2010 study, which stated that approximately 34% of photosynthesis by terrestrial plants occurs in tropical rainforests, so the Amazon rainforest would account for approximately half of this due to respiration by the resident organisms. All ecosystems, including the Amazon rainforest, have a net output of oxygen that is approximately 0. Because the oxygen currently present in the Earth's atmosphere is the same oxygen that was present 500 years ago. It's being recycled, but they're not making any new oxygen.
Interesting. I don't want to be breathing old air.
Yeah, well, I think if they said the Amazon recycles 18.7 of the oxygen, but even with this misconception, I think somebody's being too picky here. But it may just be me, just looking for something to pick at, I guess. All right, here we go with a misconception number 42. Marie Antoinette once said, "Let them eat cake." She never said that. According to the legend, prior to the French Revolution, Marie Antoinette, bride of King Louis XIV and Queen of France, was notoriously indifferent to the plight of the masses as they cried out for bread amidst a looming famine. There was no bread. And she allegedly responded, "Let them eat cake." This story is unsupported by the facts, though. And even though the queen's lifestyle was quite luxurious, she was very generous to charitable causes. She was well educated and intelligent and would have known better than to say something that inflammatory to a journalist or a biographer. I had to do some digging, but the real story is this. Marie Antoinette had a cousin named Catherine, who was also a royal. This was not Catherine the Great now, not even close. In fact, she was known in France as Catherine the Average. And Marie hated her cousin Catherine, whom everybody called Kate. And so the origin of the rumor was that Catherine, or Kate, had become such a glutton that she literally ate all the food in the castle, and there was nothing left. And with company coming, the kitchen staff was in a dither about what to serve for dinner that evening when they told Marie the reason they had no food and asked how could they possibly feed their guests. Marie responded with, "Let them eat Kate." It's Kate. And the story got told in a different way. But what she actually said was, "Let them eat Kate." Okay, just telling you what happened. Right here is another myth. The Salem witch trials burned people at the stake. Well, this myth actually concerns different stories about witchcraft, and it also got started because of a misheard comment. There were European witches burned at the stake, but no stake burnings occurred in America during colonial times. The Salem witch trials of 1692, most notably, never revealed how the defendants were able to commit the occult acts for which they were accused. But in the end, 21 people were executed, but nobody was burned at the stake. Most historians agree that the myth started when someone in Salem remarked, "Is somebody barbecuing steak?" And in reality, those 21 executed were burned on a Weber grill. That's how it really happened. Okay. Here is a misconception that Albert Einstein was bad at math. It's another misheard comment responsible for this. Of course, the irony of people saying he was bad at math is that Albert Einstein, he was the one who forged the revolutionary theory of relativity. And he was a poor student who failed in certain subjects because he wasn't interested, but he excelled in math and its applications in physics. What somebody overheard one of his teachers saying was not, "Albert is bad at math." She said, "Albert hasn't had a bath," is what they said. And somebody, just ran with the thing that made him look the worst. And it is a fact that particular bad at math thing, it got out of hand right away because one of Albert Einstein's competitors posted it on his Facebook account, and it went viral. And before you knew it, Albert's walking around going, "I'm not bad at math. I'm not bad at math." But it was all over Facebook, and that was kind of it. Okay, here we go. Benjamin Franklin discovered electricity. He did not. Benjamin Franklin made numerous scientific and political contributions to the world, but he did not discover electricity. The first electrical study was conducted in 1600 by the English scientist William Gilbert, who actually coined the term electricity. It was Franklin who discovered it was a bad idea to fly a kite in a thunderstorm. That was what he discovered. And he also discovered several new curse words when lightning struck the kite. That's what he discovered. Now, I think this is our last myth conception, but this is a big one. Gene McDonald says he could add, he just couldn't figure. All right, here's the last misconception of the day. Nero fiddled while Rome burned. He did not. He did not. That's a myth. It's a legend that in AD 64, this crazy emperor Nero started a fire near the imperial palace and then climbed to the top of the tower of Maecenas, where he played his fiddle, sang arias, and watched Rome flame out. That he fiddled while Rome burned. But according to Tacitus, a historian of the time, Nero was 30 miles away at his villa in Antium when the fire broke out. And my further research found that at his villa, he was actually practicing his clarinet. So that's the truth that you now know. So in the future, when somebody mentions the myth of Nero fiddling while Rome burned, you can correct them by declaring, no, it was a clarinet. Nero was playing the clarinet while Rome burned. So I hope we've cleared up some things here for you today. We appreciate you being with us on the Blue Plate Special. We'll be back Tuesday, and I'm continuing to research this stuff just to bring you the facts, and I think you have to watch the Blue Plate Special with a little tongue-in-cheek, right? Because just like Abraham Lincoln said, you can't believe everything you read on the internet. See you Tuesday. Bye-bye.